Ms. Nicolai, it's a great pleasure to have been present at the round table which you hosted in the European Parliament this afternoon on the reform of law and justice in Romania. Could you please tell us any takeaway messages you took from this debate and share with us your thoughts about what is needed, the challenges for Romania when it takes up the presidency of the EU in January?
Cred că dacă trebuie să avem o concluzie a acestei dezbateri de astăzi, ea este una relativ optimistă. Foarte mulți dintre noi cunoaștem bine realitatea românească. Foarte puțini dintre noi ne străduim să o schimbăm într-un respectul unui standard democratic european, în respectul drepturilor omului. Poate în România a existat prea multă teamă, poate în România există prea multă lașitate, dar respectul față de valorile țării noastre și față de valorile Uniunii Europene ne obligă să continuăm această bătălie și să schimbăm lucrurile. România nu poate fi cu adevărat membru al Uniunii Europene dacă România nu are asigurată o democrație de tip european. Ce s-a întâmplat în acești ani și probabil ce se întâmplă și acum în România nu este de tolerat. Și nu poți accepta că justiția poate fi realizată prin abuz. Aceea nu este justiție. Procesele selective în România trebuie să înceteze și oamenii care au o tentație totalitară și din păcate nu sunt puțini în țara noastră, instituțiile care au același tip de comportament trebuie să se întoarcă în matca lor constituțională și democratică. Cred că este una din concluziile întâlnirii noastre de astăzi. Nu este prima dezbatere pe care o organizez în Parlamentul European cu privire la statul de drept și cu siguranță până nu vom avea primii germeni a unei noi atitudini în România și până nu vom reuși să schimbăm o realitate, nu va fi nici ultima dezbatere pe care o organizez.
Thank you, Ms. Nicolai. And Mr. Dragomir, one of the big events in the Romanian presidency will be the European Parliament elections in just over 6 months' time. Your organization, Romania 3.0, and yourself are closely linked to the protection of human rights in Romania and the promotion of democratic values. What do you see happening in the next 6 months of campaigning? What changes do you hope to see in Romania?
În primul rând trebuie să ascultăm vocea poporului și să ne întoarcem la oameni și să ne gândim foarte bine ce își doresc oamenii, ceea ce îi doare și ceea ce îi interesează. Aceste alegeri europarlamentare vor fi extrem de importante, pentru că vor da măsura, odată a interesului românilor pentru ceea ce înseamnă noua configurație a Parlamentului European, dar de asemenea aceste alegeri vor fi legate foarte mult de spiritul european și ce înțeleg românii din spiritul european. Pentru că astăzi marea majoritate a populației României este alături de principiile și valorile europene. Dar în același timp o mare parte a populației României crede că lucrurile se îndreaptă într-o direcție greșită, crede că vocea românilor nu este ascultată îndeajuns la Bruxelles, crede că problemele care s-au întâmplat în ultimii ani ar fi trebuit să fie cumva rezolvate și prin prisma regulilor pe care ar fi trebuit să le respectăm față de Uniunea Europeană. O mare parte a populației privește cu îngrijorare aceste abuzuri pe care le-am dezbătut astăzi, protocoale secrete, ascultarea în masă a populației, presiunea asupra judecătorilor, faptul că nu mai au încredere în actul de justiție. Ori din punctul ăsta de vedere, acele principii europene în care, repet, marea majoritate a populației României crede, stat de drept, democrație, transparență, responsabilitate, trebuie să se așeze cumva și în inima partidelor politice care merg în fața alegătorilor în România. Această mișcare România 3.0 de care am vorbit a plecat ca o mișcare civică. Și întotdeauna, și cred că ar fi bine să ne reîntoarcem la cei care ne spun că știu mai bine care este situația la firul ierbii, și aceste mișcări civice au rolul lor, așa cum și partidele politice trebuie să-și îndeplinească rolul, în primul rând și în primul rând, de a apăra pe cetățeni.
Mr. Dragomir, thank you very much, and good luck in the elections next May.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
Ms. Nicolai, also good luck
Thank
in
you.
the May elections. Thank you. We're here in the European Parliament today with Vice President of the ALDE Group, Norica Nicolai, and with the well-known activist from Romania 3, Daniel Dragomir, and the political analyst from London, David Clark. And we have been attending an important roundtable meeting on the reform of the law and justice system in Romania. Let me ask you first, Ms. Nicolai, if I may. You kindly hosted the roundtable meeting in the Parliament, and one of the issues raised was that Romania takes up the presidency of the EU next January, and we're looking forward to this. Could you tell us what are the big challenges that Romania faces, and what are the changes that the government needs to make in order to prepare for this responsibility?
It's our first presidency after accession, and we are prepared. But looking to what's happened related to Romania last week in European Parliament, we are prepared to struggle for more democracy, including more democracy in our country. This debate today was about this because I want to remember to the people the declaration of Vice President of the Commission, Mr. Timmermans, who asked about the protocol, who considered this as a democratic deficit, and he asked for an inquiry. It's a first normal step in our relation, and we Romanian, we are pro-European citizen, one of the most pro-European country in Eastern Europe. But for us, it's really important to promote more democracy, to promote equal standard for all inside of European Union, and to promote a clear and a legal rule in terms of rule of law, which is an important concept for European Union, but in the current context become more important. Was a pleasure to cooperate with the Foundation for Better Governance, because democracy belongs to the better governance. It's a prerequisite of better governance, and I hope that we can continue to debate. We need to understand, we need to explain to our population what's happened in Romania in this almost 14 years. Was Romania faithful rule of law state, was a real democratic state, and we need to not only to analyze, we need to action, and I hope that the Romanian government, Romanian parliament start a clear action in order to promote more democracy in our day-by-day life.
Thank you, Ms. Nicolai. Mr. Dragomir, if I could turn to you. One of the big events in the Romanian presidency will, of course, be the next European Parliament elections. You're well known for your campaigning for the protection of human rights and the promotion of democracy. What do you think the citizens will be looking for in Romania in the elections next May?
As you know, I also founded the political movement, because we're talking about Romania 3.0. I believe all politicians in all over Europe should listen to the real needs of the population and of the citizens, because what is uniting us inside of Europe today are the principles of freedom, of democracy, of rule of law, of respecting the civil rights and human rights of the citizens. Now, because we discussed today regarding the situation in Romania, the secret protocol, the mass surveillance of the population, the abuses against the rule of law actually, and the corruption of the anti-corruption fight, I believe Romanians need to look not only at the principles that the European Union is showing in front of them, but to understand that they have a duty to respect those rules and regulations, as we mentioned today. When we talk about zero tolerance for corruption, we should also talk about zero tolerance for abuses and breach of the Constitution and breach of the laws and breach of the rule of law. So at the end, I think most politicians should look at the citizens and make sure that they will be first very well informed about the future of the European Union and what the principles really mean for us, democracy and rule of law. But also secondly, I think the citizens should also feel that they are really a part of this entire orchestra of nations that need to share common values and common principles.
Thank you, Mr. Dragomir. And Mr. Clark, if I could turn to you. At the moment, while Romania is becoming more and more pro-European, it seems that the UK is moving further away. And of course, your country will not be taking part in the European Parliament elections in May. How do you perceive Romania's progress over these last few years, and what do you think lies ahead for this country?
I think Romania has a really big challenge that everybody's aware of, which is its need to deal with corruption. But it has to do that in a way that is consistent with European values and consistent with its treaty obligations under the European Union's human rights rules and more broadly under other international human rights instruments. It can't hope to defeat corruption using securitate methods that are more reminiscent of the communist era and which violate those fundamental rights. But that's not just a problem for Romania, it's not just a challenge for Romania, it's also a challenge for the European Union. Because up until now, the European Union has only seen one problem in Romania, corruption, when in fact Romania is dealing with two problems, corruption and a dysfunctional anti-corruption fight, which is not consistent with human rights observance. And these require really big internal adaptations in Romania, internal reform, really quite serious reform, analogous to the reforms in many ways that they were asked to undertake in preparation for EU membership. And the EU needs to help them with that process and stop burying its head in the sand and pretending that it doesn't exist, which unfortunately has been its approach up until now.
So you think that it's time for strong political leaders to deliver a stronger administration in order to help Romania improve in these areas?
Well, what Romania needs to do is to move towards a new internal consensus. There's always a risk with strong leaders because they get tempted to use their strength for purposes that perhaps don't converge with the national interest. What Romania has to try and do is reach a new consensus across the political spectrum about how to tackle corruption, to tackle it effectively and firmly, but to do so in a way that is clean. And reflects the values on which Romania has been admitted to the European Union.
Thank you very much.